Hey, everybody, welcome to a special edition of our Profit Acceleration Secrets podcast. And today we are conducting a Profit Acceleration coaching session. And I am so delighted to have a special guest with me today, Francis Sims. Francis, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you, Jarvis?
I'm doing great, doing great. Hey, Francis, before we really start to dive into our conversation today, I would love to just give you a moment to please introduce yourself and give us an overview of your business. Tell us anything you like, when you start, why'd you start, but really looking forward to learning more.
Okay. Well, as you said earlier, my name is Frances Sims, and I am an empowerment purpose coach. And what that means is that I love purpose, and I like talking to people about what purpose is and how it is life. It gives meaning to life, and it sparks that fire on the inside that says, "Hey, I could do so much more than what I'm doing currently in my life." My business is FBS Consulting Solutions. My motto is "We bring solutions and not problems." I like that motto because we have so many problems in life, and you don't need to add another stone or pebble to someone's life that's going to cause them a problem.
Very good.
But if we can see the solution that maybe my vision is obscured, or maybe there's something blocking or hindering me from seeing it, but if I can see that solution and offer you the solution that I see to get you that next step of your result, then that's the goal that FBS Consulting Solutions is gearing to do.
All right, perfect.
um,
Oh, I'm sorry.
well, you asked the question of how I got started.
Yeah,
uh,
please.
I want to say that I got started before I even knew what a coach was. In the military, because I'm a veteran, and when I was in the army, in the military, I would have soldiers come to me, and we would talk about, like, why are they not feeling excited about their careers or their jobs, or um, I worked in a special care unit, and this is what really drove it, that this is what I needed to do. I was working in a special care unit, and this is where military soldiers go where they're wounded, they're injured, or they're ill. And in this company, my position was the transition coordinator, excuse me. And in doing that job, I would have soldiers come into my office, and they would tell me, very sad, that they were upset that they couldn't finish their career, or they didn't know what they would do because they thought this was going to be my 20 years. And in retrospect, they were told, because of the extent of the injury, because of the sickness or the illness, you won't be able to continue. So they were being medically discharged, and sitting in my office having the conversation with them, the thought of purpose came to the conversation. And it was, "Well, what are you good at doing outside of the military?" Because the first thought is, "Oh, well, this is my job, so I should tell you that I'm great at doing my job." But I didn't want to know that. What I wanted to know was what they had in them. What was that thing that they could do without thinking? It could be a hobby that they could draw, they could sing, they could do woodwork, just different little things like that. Getting them to see that that particular thing that they can do, that ability, was a purpose.
Nice.
And when they light up on the inside, I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I never thought of that as something that I could do, that would it would actually, it could be a career." I didn't see that. I didn't see, oh, what I could do could help somebody. And when that conversation took place, I got that, yeah, this is it. This is what I love doing. This is what I want to do. I want to help people with understanding who they are and what they give and what they have to show up to the world and be great. And doing that is a purpose.
There you go. And I want to connect this, Francis, I've had the pleasure of connecting with you on a few different occasions. And I learned about this amazing book that you also authored. Can you take a minute to spotlight that and how that even aligns with the work that you're leading?
Yes. And thank you. My book is 21 Steps to Walk in Purpose. Your keys to unlocking doors you thought impossible to enter. And this book was a labor of love because I really wanted people to see through stories how your walk in purpose through 21 steps that we do already without even thinking about, but how you can actually take those 21 steps and critique it to what purpose you're trying to accomplish. You could use it for personal development, you can use it for business. But the 21 steps to walk in purpose basically shows you that there is purpose to everything we do, the ambitions in our lives and how we build relationships, how we just make ourselves better. It's all done through purpose. So the 21 steps to walk in purpose highlights that.
All right, perfect. And you got a great shout out. Looks like Lilia, she's read your book, and it's a total game changer. So, Francis, this is awesome. You got a fan base hanging out with us online right here as well. I guess let me dig a little deeper just into your business, Francis, and some of the key services that you provide. Can you walk us through that in a little bit more detail? Tell us exactly, how would someone connect with you, or what's the process if they wanted to kind of get started or connect deeper with the work that you provide or the empowerment that you lead them towards?
Well, yes, they can actually visit my website, which is francissims.com. And that's FranceSims, one M.com. And they can also connect with me on LinkedIn, and it's also under my name, Francis Sims. I'm also on YouTube, where I have some awesome videos to help motivate and inspire people. And that's at Coach Francis Sims. And if they do LinkedIn or IG, then I'm on Instagram under Francis underscore life coach.
All right, fantastic. And Francis, the real goal for today's conversation is just to help you uncover new opportunities for business growth. So let me ask, if we uncover one or two strategies today that you feel will be really beneficial to, the work that you're leading, you're committed to implementing, kind of testing them out. What does your business look like 6 to 12 months from now? What are some key goals that you're trying to build on?
Some of the key goals that I'm really building on is value, being intentional, and some of the listeners that follow me, they know that I'm really big on being intentional. That was my staple for what I wanted for the year, is to be and to walk an intentional pathway to give the abundance of positive energy versus negative, because so many people deplete your life with the negative things that they come to you with. But if you could put the seed of positivity to see that, hey, the ambitions that you're trying to reach is not something that's cruel or it's selfish, but it is a necessity for you to shine as a person
Yeah.
into other people's lives. So I would say I'm building on that, and I'm looking to deepen and the growth of the company to where I could do retreats where we can actually come together and we can actually get into unlocking what are those things that's holding people back? What are those things that they are feeling that their imposter syndromes are shining forward instead of taking that seat back? I also want to make sure that the training and the development courses that we have are those training and development courses that's going to enrich the value of other people in their business, in their day-to-day relationships, in their own personal growth and journey.
All right. Well, teach me this really quickly, Francis. What's your current process for listening to your customers? What do you currently do in your business to get feedback to just constantly stay connected or tuned in to what their needs are?
Certainly, we offer uh, them to comment on the videos to let us know what they're wanting to hear more of. If they're having an issue, then instead of like doing a commenting live, they can DM me, emails. I send out little email surveys where people can answer and they can give me back the of what they want to see more of, what they want to see less of. If they want to actually see a specific type of problem worked out a little bit more, just getting a general guide of what my clients want or what my tribe is looking for, so that way the community can be a community that is beneficial to the people that are subscribing or following me.
All right, perfect. And that's very similar to where my head was going to go. In terms of surveys, but just coach to coach, Francis, have you
Mhm.
considered doing a roundtable or a focus group for your tribe?
I thought about doing and actually I've already like done the outline and kind of got it a little started, but I wanted to do a coaching support group. And with the coaching support group, that way other coaches can come in and we can have that safe place where we can sit and talk and say like, hey, this is what's working, this is not what's working. Because sometimes you need someone else to build you up. You're always pouring out, and sometimes you need people to pour into you. And I wanted to do a round table like that and then extend that to where my community have, like, we have a I'm wanted to start like a Tuesday, Thursday session where we're coming in. I'm giving them some things that they can uh, use to build whatever they're doing for their life, for their week. And they have a Q&A session to where they can ask me specific questions to help and guide them, give that value where they're needing it, so they can be more efficient, so they can be more confident in what they're wanting to portray, not only in their personal life but in the world of business.
Perfect. And so I'm personally a huge fan of group coaching events, like you just kind of gave that example there. For roundtables and for focus groups, I actually run those monthly with folks who would represent my ideal target clients and customers. So I just want to pitch that to you. It is a phenomenal, but I do it live. I invite folks to breakfast. I bring in an amazing breakfast. We just did one about 2 weeks ago with chicken and waffles. And I mean, we did it up. I take a little bit of time to present on some key topics, but then by the end of the event, I'm asking them for feedback, more of, less of, everything you just said. And it also creates a great environment to potentially get customers and prospects, right? I mean, that's kind of the ultimate outcome is that it puts me in a position of being seen as the expert with this audience that I've curated. But then at the end of the day, it allows me just to serve. So even if they don't become a customer or a client, I've created a great environment for them to move forward. I get feedback on how I could keep adding value, being intentional, just like you said. And then if there's a real connection there, then we have a conversation about working together if that's appropriate. But no matter what, they're going to leave better than they came.
That's always the goal, was to make sure the person leave better than they came.
Absolutely. Teach me this. So, with your current coaching model, what does that look like? Because I love the idea of retreats as well. And that is, I mean, I have a couple of coaches that I support who are doing retreats on yachts and cruise ships. Some are going to like very impressive locations. They're not cheap whatsoever. But I guess what's the current framework of your coaching program, and then what are some thoughts? I love to kind of help connect the dots to get you to a retreat as quickly as possible.
Awesome. Um, yeah, so basically right now, the customers or the clients, they can actually buy the book, which give people a little bit of, oh, okay, well, this is what she's about. This is, her knowledge. And then from there, I invite them to a webinar, which is going to come up soon, a webinar, or I get invited to different platforms where I get to talk to the communities of the person that is hosting the event. And when I'm on that platform, I do a book reading where, again, I'm introducing the book and getting people just to know a little bit about me and giving them value, something that they can use to take into whatever they're facing as far as their problem with a quick solution to get them to that next step. So the next step at that point is offering, hey, let's have a conversation. Let's see if we're a good fit. Because not only do you want to work with people, but you want to work with people that are a good fit for you. Because I've been in relationships, business relationships with other people where we just didn't mesh. My values wasn't their values. My thoughts wasn't their thought process. It was more of, hitting a brick wall. Every time you say something, they're always trying to tear it down. So you got to make sure that we're a good fit, that we're going to, you know, be a good collaborating team, to where it's not just me dictating what is going to be done or said, but that we're really having a conversations and we're really meeting that need of finding out what's causing them to be stuck or what's causing them to struggle or be hindered in whatever they're trying to move forward in. And seeing the solution from the outside looking in, now let's see how we can help you implement those steps into actionable things that you can do without being overwhelmed, without being like, oh my gosh, this person is asking way too much of me. But, being there alongside of you and guiding you through the process. And then once that happens, they decide whether or not they're going to do my group coaching, or we do a one-on-one, because some people may not want to be in a group, but they want to do it one-on-one, and that's perfectly okay. It's we meet you where you are to make sure you get the things that you need to get you to being successful at the end of the day.
So I'm curious to ask you this, and I'm really interested to see kind of where you go with it. But if I gave you two sentences to kind of answer this next question, Francis, this is kind of what I'm teeing you up for. Um, what problem do you solve for your clients? How would you articulate that?
I would articulate it as um, being frustrated, being, doubting yourself. Because I've been there where I was frustrated, doubting myself, not seeing the full path of how I can get to my next step. So tripping up, hitting your knees, now you don't have to, because you got someone there in your corner that they've been where you've been. Now they can show you how you can sidestep that pitfall and get to the end of accomplishing the goal.
All right. So I'm still going to pitch that one to you again. So two sentences, problem you solve. And I'm
Okay.
making you sweat on purpose just a little bit because I'm obviously gonna highlight something. Because again, friends, I just want to say everything you said, I love it. It's an empowerment mindset. But for you now, when you are marketing your business or kind of pitching, for lack of a better word,
Hmm.
I want people to know right out the gate, like, hey, y'all, that's Francis Sims. Like, no joke. This is what she does. But you only got two sentences to really communicate that.
Okay, so I would say If you're ready to achieve your goals, unlock your strength, and find your focus, then I am the ideal person for you to get you to walking in your purpose.
All right. Fair enough. I like that. I like where you're going. Now, share with me who's your target audience. What does your perfect client profile look like?
Um, my perfect audience would be those who lack focus. They struggle with believing in themselves. They have difficulty connecting to a goal or a purpose that they're wanting to achieve in their life.
All right. So take it a little bit further. Because I guess when I hear someone who lacks focus, I'm thinking first and foremost, like everyone with ADHD is your target profile. And I know we probably don't want every ADHD person.
Yeah.
Um, so I guess let me go a little deeper. And the way I really, I guess the answer to kind of give you a framework of what I'm looking for is, hey Jarvis, my ideal client is a 35-year-old, person that maybe they're a professional named Doug. They are at this transition point in life or career. They're trying to figure out, how to attain that next level of success or something, right? So, like I really encourage you, and if you don't have this, it's totally okay. That's the goal of me asking the question is like, I want you to have a picture of Doug on your computer. So now, anytime when you are networking or just meeting people, and you're gonna be like, hey, that's Doug. That guy, his name is Jarvis, but he's really Doug, right?
Right.
I'd love for you to have like that level of clarity. So then, when you are, solving a problem for Doug, it becomes crystal clear. Doug cannot live without you. So let me stop there and ask, does that kind of framework, does that make sense, or any thoughts on that?
Yeah. So actually, my age group that I really key in on is between 30 to 45, and I key into that is because I know that that's when I had the most of, oh my gosh, I'm getting up in age and I really don't want to do this, but I really want to do something else. And I
Uh,
just don't know what it is. So when you're generally, not to say young people don't, because they do, they have a specific focus, but like when you are actually at the age of 30 to 45, you are like, everything is intentional. Everything is like, I gotta do this like now. And I just need that extra boost. So that's my ideal person, um, is in that age group. And I more so focus on women, not to say that men aren't important, because I do have programs for men,
sure.
but I really focus on women because of the fact that in this space, in the communities in which we're in, a lot of times women are, they're looked at a certain way when you're a mom and you're trying to be in corporate America. So they're like, okay, so pick one, corporate America or mom. And you're
Mhm.
like, well, I'm both, because just like in the military, your soldier, your mom, your wife, you're a daughter, you still have to do your job and be who you are. So those are the people that I'm looking more so to, gearing all my messages mostly for. And
Well, let me
um
ask, do you feel like your perfect client, would it almost be you 5 to 10 years ago?
yes.
Yeah. So that's something I've learned just, from my experience in coaching is for coaches specifically, your perfect client is the you needed back then, which I think is amazing. And it gives you, I would say, that much more clarity. You're looking for the Francis's 10 years ago, 5 years ago, who were, and
15
the
years ago.
situation, the needs, right? The pain points. I would encourage you to absolutely like put that picture of that perfect client who is going through the things that you personally wanted or needed during that time in life, and become the coach that you needed. Like that, I say that because, Francis, that was literally how I started out in my coaching business. Because I wanted to be the coach that I always wanted. because I went through some good coaches and I went through some bad coaches to figure out how to get my business where I want it. But that is very much what I just kind of heard you define was like Francis 5, 10 years ago. That's who I'm looking for now. So
Oh yes, definitely. And that's funny that you say that, because when I'm talking to like my clients, or I'm talking to my kids, I'll say, and when I'm talking, I'm really talking to the me back when I was 19 and struggling, or 20 and struggling, 25 and struggling, trying to hit those mile markers, and not having anyone that you can rely on to say, "Hey, show me how to do this. How can I level up here? Or
mhm.
should I do this? Push it or pull back?" And it's like when I you say that, I was like, "Yes, that's exactly that's the person."
All right, perfect. So I would, when I say literally, let's turn that out. After our call here, if it's okay, I'll share a template. Is one of my favorite templates for creating that avatar that we just talked about. But I would say put her up on the screen right there in front of you. So now every day when you're talking to people, is that my perfect avatar? Let me ask you this, and I'm curious about this now too, though. With your coaching process, your coaching methodology, have you kind of put a signature stamp on it, Francis? Like, is it set up in a way that the only way that I can get these benefits or get this program is coming to Francis Sims? Have you like turned it into a product? I guess is kind of the question.
Yes, actually, I have several programs that I've developed from my goal setting, because that was
Okay.
my first self-help book that I created, was a goal setting book. And now the purpose, 21 steps to walk in purpose. So now I have a purpose course. So those are the courses that I have already put in place. And I was like, yes, and it's more to come. So
Nice. Awesome. So then for the retreat, just to come back to that, what do you see yourself building the retreat into? Well, how would that align with the current products you have?
oh my gosh, with the retreats, doing the products that I have right now in place, that actually help with the transformational journey to get you out of the space of it's too late for me, into the space of I can do all things.
Hmm.
It's not too late for me. So that's what I see and vision, and it's like that's what I'm dreaming and I'm seeing, and I can walk into right now in that space, because holding that particular um I would say that particular community, giving them the nurture and the guidance that they need on a different level. And it's
Mhm.
not where it's right now we're virtual, but it's not virtual. It's literally we're next to each other. I can touch your hand, and we're physically diving into, without distractions, getting to the heart of you.
Yeah. And remind me, you're in South Carolina? Was that
I
it?
am.
Oh, I'm calling out a Myrtle Beach retreat with the quickness. But no, you know, I'll say again, just kind of touch on the marketing opportunity behind everything you just said there. Is, when we market, right, there's only really three things that we can market better than anything else. And it's
Mhm.
going to be a lifestyle, a transformation, or a cause or a movement, right? So what you just described there, Francis, I feel like it's the ultimate transformation that you're helping them get. Like I almost went to like a Tony Robbins kind of a mindset. I can see you're the next generation of the Tony Robbins, type of leadership transformation. Um, but I could easily see, I mean, there's a lifestyle component to what you just said as well, right? You're helping them get to a place where they're going to be empowered, to start living the best lives possible for themselves. And then I can also see a movement behind everything you just said. Like there's no reason for you to live this mediocre or less than stellar lifestyle. You can have the lifestyle of your dreams. And you're going to provide that empowerment coaching. So that's what just resonated with everything. And to do that in a retreat over the course of a handful of days, that's going to be powerful, very powerful.
Oh yes. Because it's amazing what you can do when you get out of your own way. And in doing that, I see that anytime, and I tell anybody who knows me, they know that when you're in my presence, I don't want you to leave the same.
There
When
you
you're
go.
in my presence, I want you to get something that's going to ignite you, that's going to motivate you, it's going to inspire you, and it's going to take you out of the quagmire of your thoughts of saying, uh, into I can do this and it's not too hard for me. That's what at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, that I really want to happen.
All right, fantastic. Well, let me kind of turn us on downside of our conversation here, and let me first just highlight Lilia. She is absolutely rocking with our conversation. So just want to give, excuse me, her a great shout out for all the positive feedback she shared with her experience of connecting with you, Francis, and the support that you've provided with her. So again, Lilia, just thank you for all the great vibes that you're sending. Um, Francis, let me ask just really quick, given our conversation today, we obviously talked on getting really, really clear with, I think, your perfect customer profile. Getting clear, I will still say, on defining the problem you solve so that as soon as Francis 10 years ago hears that you solved that problem, she should be raising her hand to come join your programs. We talked of, of course, the marketing side, I think, of what you're building, whether you highlight the transformation, the lifestyle, or the movement, connected with living in your purpose. I think those are all just great takeaways for a really quick conversation. But let me turn it over to you. Did we share anything that just kind of resonated or something you think is worth moving forward with?
Um, I like the customer journey because right now that's actually the path that I'm walking right now is building that customer journey because I want their journey to be, yes, that's where I need to go. Yes, this is where I found my community. Yes, this is my tribe. Because the community that I am building, I want them to be the best that they can be, walking in confidence, walking in power, using the power of their voice. And the thing that I like to say, it's in my book, Roar, reaching others, awakening the rush.
Oh,
And that rush is from the core of you. So when they roar, they're reaching others, awakening the rush. And that's what I want my community. If you got a whole bunch of like-minded people, they're roaring the power of what they can do. They can change their world, the dynamics of everything they do and say. One person, one heart, one message at a time.
nice. Well, and I am a sucker for a good acronym. So literally, I've already wrote down ROAR. I hope we inspire a lot of folks that listen to this conversation, Francis, to follow you, to learn how to roar themselves, and to join your community if it's a good fit for them. Before I let you go, Francis, please just again give us the best way that our audience can connect with you or follow anything that you're going to put out about your business, websites, social sites, anything you have, and then we'll officially sign off.
Okay. Again, they can visit me at francissims.com. That's FRANCESSIMS.com. And LinkedIn, I am Francis Sims. IG, I am Francis underscore life coach. And YouTube, where you can get the positive messages that I provide is Coach Francis Sims.
All right,
Oh,
perfect.
and
And
I almost forgot. They could email me at Francis at FBS Consulting Solutions.com.
all right, fantastic. Now, Francis, I as I listen to all your handles there, one final, food for thought is go with the transformation that you're going to give. So francissims.com sounds great, but living on purpose sounds great. Roar.com sounds great. You know, think about the transformation, putting that as a core part of your handle. And I tell this to my clients, and I mean it with love, but nobody cares about you, Francis. Now, you highlight that transformation you're going to give them, they will, I think, gravitate towards that in a very significant way. But just food for thought, maybe test that out with some additional handles centered around the transformation or the lifestyle or the movement that you're really focused on driving for the lives of your clients. I think that would be an interesting test of change as you continue to spread the word about the work you're leading.
Okay, awesome. I mean, I do also have walkingpurposenow.com, and that's
There we go.
where, if you don't mind, anyone that's listening, they can go and they can get a free sample of a copy of my book, a download
Oh,
sample.
yeah, we love freebies now. Come on. And I'll make sure, Francis, that I get that connected when I get the conversation here released to go out through the podcast. So please, any links or anything you would like to share with the audience. The whole goal is obviously to give you the visibility, but it is to just help throw some ideas that is going to keep you, taking the next step and the next step to really create this community. But I'm really inspired by everything you're building. So I appreciate the chance to talk with you about it today.
Thank you. Thank you for giving me this honor.
No, thank you again. Thank you everyone for plugging in with us. So to Lilia, to Chrissy, to everyone who made us a part of your day, we very much appreciate it. So until next time, this is Jarvis and Francis, and we're wishing you all more leads, more customers, and more profits. Take care, everyone.